Good morning in the morning. I hope you're well. I certainly am because exam season's over. I've made a quick breakfast this morning, just some polenta porridge, apple, tahini, cardamom, all the good stuff. I feel like this combination is very me for a good reason. I thought I'd take you along today for a day at home because I realized I haven't done like a proper update in a while on stuff that's going on, and I also have a bunch of questions from Instagram that I'll be answering throughout the day. It's definitely going to be a pretty chill one today. I do have a few things that I want to get done, but nothing too crazy. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to be starting with some running related questions. I've got so many of those. I'll just get them out of the way. How often / how long are you running? This really changes depending on the week, my schedule, and honestly also just how I'm feeling. I am running a marathon at the end of April, so I'm currently training for that. But yeah, the distance and the frequency of my runs definitely changes depending on many factors. When and how did you get into running? I was looking for an alternative to field hockey, which I played for 16 years up until 2 years ago. And then I did both for a while, but then I found running to be, one, more mentally rewarding at the time, but then also it fit a lot better with my schedule as a student. Except running, do you appreciate any other sports? I still love watching field hockey and sometimes football, but I don't watch a lot of sports unless there's like a big championship or something. What running shoes do you recommend? So I have the Asics Nova Blast 3, which are my favorite pair of running shoes ever. I honestly have been going through these for the past 2 years, just getting a new pair every time. So I have those, and then I also have recently just got myself a pair of Cloud Monsters just to have a separate pair, but you should be doing a running analysis before buying a shoe to make sure that they actually fit your running style and your feet. Okay, last running question. Will you be doing running vlogs in the future? Probably not as a separate video, mainly because I don't take my phone or anything with me when I run because it's a real disconnection from the world for me. And obviously if I would take my phone or if I would even take like a camera, that wouldn't be the case anymore. So probably not as a separate one, but you know, I've been including bits and bobs from training here and there. I mean, I can leave my favorite running channels here if you're on the lookout for some running vlogs, but you know, that's not really my niche anyways, so. Okay, I'm gonna finish my breakfast. I'll have to get a bit of work done on the computer for a little project I've been working on. I just got done filming a recipe for this tofu souvlakia. This is honestly one of my go-to recipes recently. Ever since I made it for the first time a couple of months ago, I've just been really liking it. I just have it with some rice and some cucumber salad. The recipe for this is coming on Sunday, so next Sunday. I feel like whenever I film recipes like that, I obviously always try to do it at meal times, usually at lunchtime or at breakfast, because at dinner time it's usually already dark, at least in the winter. It always takes like so long to film and to set up everything, so I'm just super hungry by the end. But this hits the spot. The amount of vegan hanuta I've been eating ever since they came out with the plant-based version is actually ridiculous. And it's so good. It reminds me so much of my childhood because I used to eat this a lot in my early teens. Anyways, let's get into some more questions. Who are your favorite German YouTubers? I don't watch a lot of German YouTube, honestly, but if I do, it's always Taimi. What are your favorite cooking shows to watch on YouTube? For cooking skills, I love Rainbow Plant Life, Pickup Limes, and Pro Home Cooks, although I think it's now called Life by Mike G, which is not a vegan channel, but just general techniques are always helpful. And for inspiration, I've been absolutely loving Mina Rome and Emmy Lucas. I don't know, I'm just kind of obsessed with their content at the moment. And then also Ella Smith and of course Amanda Ducks as always. But I do also want to point out my favorite cookbooks here. Let me just get them. Okay, first up, this is Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat by Simon Nosrat, and this is a really good book if you want to get into like the whys of cooking and like some really basic techniques and stuff like that. This is my latest possession. Well, I actually got this for Christmas. It's obviously Rainbow Plant Life's cookbook, and I love this so much. Honestly, I want to try everything. I've already tried a bunch of recipes from this book, and yeah, they're all really good. I think it's like 600 pages. Yeah, this is a great one. This one I bought in London actually, but it's really, really nice. It's focused on a few like key ingredients and then kind of combines those ingredients. So it's focused on lemons, olive oil, vinegar, mustard, tomatoes, capers, chili, tahini, garlic, onions, miso, and peanuts. And then there's a bunch of recipes combining those and just focusing on the single ingredient itself. Yeah, this is a really good one for inspiration for me. And then lastly, I feel like we've all heard of this one. I have 2 more of his cookbooks. I also have Plenty and Flavor, but I feel like the Simple is the best one if you're wanting to get started with ottolenghi, because obviously the recipes are simple. That's literally the name. Yeah, this is also a great source of inspiration for me, and also a good one if you want to do like a dinner party and something a bit more on the fancy side but still not too much work. Okay, next question. What are your favorite foods besides parsley? This changes every once in a while, but at the moment I am loving rice, chickpeas, bread in general, just loving bread, peanut butter, cardamom, and of course the vegan hanuta. Speaking of which, I'm gonna eat another one. What recipes are the most time-saving? I would say hands-off recipes, where you just put something on the stove or in the oven and then go do something else while it's cooking. How is the cupboard clean out going? Honestly, I think it's going pretty well. My focus was definitely to use up ingredients that I don't usually reach for. So I wasn't like trying to use up my oats or stuff like that, because I use those pretty much on a daily basis. But just stuff that's been sitting in the cupboard for months, and it's been going pretty well. I've been having to get a bit creative with it, but that's always fun, you know. And one of the drawers that I have where I store all of my food is already looking a lot emptier, which is quite nice. Do you take any supplements? I do take B12 every other day, and then also magnesium and iron, because I am an athlete. How do you finance your grocery shopping / eating out? This person clarified that she doesn't mean how I make money, but rather how I choose to spend it. I don't eat out for meals very often, especially not if I'm the one paying, but I do like to get a treat from the bakery once or twice a week. There's 2 major reasons for this. One being that I obviously absolutely love cooking and being creative and spending time in the kitchen and all of that good stuff. Another thing is, I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day. I feel like if I lived in a city where there's more vegan / veggie restaurants or even options, I would be eating out a lot more. In the city that I live in, I'd rather save my money for traveling and other experiences than spending it on a mediocre meal, if that makes sense. And since I have so many places I want to travel to and see, and so many things I want to do, I just cook at home most of the time. But on vacation, I definitely enjoy eating out, especially if there's a good vegan or veggie food scene. How do you implement everything you want to get done without feeling overwhelmed or burnt out? Well, I'm probably not the best person to ask this question, because I definitely struggle with taking breaks and not doing as many things as humanly possible. As I work on this myself, there's a few things that I've realized. So consciously planning rest works very well for me. For instance, after a big day of studying, I just make sure to save a few hours for doing something spontaneous. And then on another note, for uni-specific work, I just keep the green notebook that I have with all of the tasks I need to do on a weekly basis, and I can just cross them off whenever I've done them. And then lastly, I do want to mention the Pomodoro technique, which I've been using for a few years now, and it's honestly revolutionized my studying. So I just do 50 minutes of work and then a 10 to 15 minute break. And during that break, I just try to get away from the desk, do something else. And this method really motivates me, because I just tell myself like, it's just 50 more minutes, that's not even an hour. That's what works for me. I feel like with studying though, everyone kind of has their own way of doing things. Why did you start YouTube? Cooking and editing videos is kind of my creative outlet. I am not very handy when it comes to arts and crafts and stuff like that. But what I'm doing right now is just so good for my brain, because I finally have a place where I can like put all of my ideas. What kind of job do you want to do in the future? I am very unsure about this. maybe something along the lines of sustainability management or consulting. I do have to say, opening a community-focused cafe somewhere in the countryside is kind of a dream. I don't think I'll have the guts to actually go through with that. Why are you studying business? It seems like a contrast with your way of living. I actually disagree with this. The business degree I'm getting is so general. It's a good base for further education in the direction of sustainability or whatever I end up doing. Did you set any goals for the new year? Not really like set goals. I just want to focus on how I'm feeling rather than something number related. There are 3 things I came up with for the most part is that I want to make friends in the city I live in and just meet some more like-minded people and feel good about creating those deeper connections and relationships. I want to waste and consume less and feel good about reducing my environmental impact even more. And lastly, I want to enjoy marathon training and still want to continue liking running after the race and feel good about finishing no matter what time I run. Okay, I think that is enough questions for today. I am gonna clean up now because filming recipes, I always use like 10 times the amount of utensils and like plates and stuff that I usually would use. So the kitchen's a bit of a mess right now. I'm gonna clean that up and then I'm gonna head outside because I need to get some books and I also need to get a new memory card because I think with this camera, I've had some issues with it in the last few weeks and I don't actually think it's the camera, I think it's the memory card. So I'm gonna get a new memory card and then see if that fixes it. It's nice and sunny, finally. It's been raining all day. Okay, so I have got a new memory card. Hopefully this is gonna solve the issues I had with the camera. And then I also got some new reading material. So first I got this book and I am obsessed with Louise Penny. I think she's definitely my favorite author. This is part 19 of this series and I've read every single one in probably like 3 days max. I love these books so much. And then I also got this one. I've never heard of this author, but the lady working there recommended it to me. So I'm also excited to get into this one, but I'm definitely going to read the Louise Penny first because I'm just so excited. And now I am happy to announce what I've been working on for the past few months. I have created a website as a place to refer back to for my go-to recipes as well as the occasional travel guides, and I've also linked my favorite products and my favorite recipes from other creators on there. So if you check out the caption, you'll find a link which takes you straight to my website. I hope you enjoy browsing through the recipes, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments for any suggestions that you have or if you think I should add a certain recipe that I might have forgotten about. So that's a quick announcement. I hope you enjoy the website. I'm obviously going to keep updating it as I publish more recipes, hopefully. I'm going to get into some work now. I need to do a bunch of editing this afternoon, and then I'll see you when it's time to eat some dinner. It's around 6 p.m. right now. I am very hungry, but I just wanted to finish the editing for today. I'm making dinner now, and I'm using this, wait, you can't even see. I'm using this alphabet pasta, which I found at the store the other day. I was actually there with my mum, and I told her that this unlocked so many memories for me that I didn't even know existed, because we always used to eat this at after-school daycare when I was in primary school. We would always request this like once a week. So I'm excited to make some alphabet pasta soup today. Very nostalgic for sure. I'm just going to keep it simple though. You know, simple recipes, kind of the theme of this video. I'm probably just going to do some carrot, onion, garlic, and call it a day.